And welcome back to Humble Pie. I'm your host, Jimmy D. And we're ready for round 2 of today's Championship Series 6. Coming at you. We've got 2 brand new players at here and at the whole new setup for us at the studio. I was finally able to test some audio things, and we're going to hopefully remember to check all that stuff, but also reintroducing you to the bounty packs. I bought a box back well before we moved of the new set. I picked this thing up right before we moved, and then I wanted to make sure that I had the bounty packs because I know limited stock is out there. So we're back to hosting people at the table. Winner gets one of these coveted packs where I have their own community box. It has completely nothing to do with ours. This is the one for the channel is always here. But I bought a second one to kind of like thank all the players that are willing to give their time and chance to be on camera on this great opportunity for us to look over the games and watch these amazing gameplays. I'm super excited to be back hosting these events where we're watching over the gameplay, doing content the way I like the best, being able to watch recorded games, give you guys commentary on like what the line should be or what's out there, and just trying to really make a narrative on some fun stories of the games that were out there, and hoping that Bondi will follow suit here at some of their major competitions and do a dedicated stream for each one of their Bondi games, because there's a lot that can be done with it. Just, you know, honestly animating and showcasing how great these games are. They're as good as WWE if you do it right. If you ask me, like, you could make these things just as entertaining as a good wrestling match, so long as you got the right coast, you got the right people that are really engaged, understand what they're talking about, and can create the right amount of drama for the right amount of the game. And just so happy to be able to cover these games. We have a really fun matchup here. Blue Yellow Nami, which got a massive power upgrade with some new cards from the Heroine set. And we're going to see it in action with Big Sexy's new deck here. And he's going to be going up against a new player here, Grant, who's on Yellow Monkey D. Luffy. Now, I will say I do not have the actual deck list for Grant. I'm going to be using what I can here. Grant is a younger kid, so I need the parents' permission to be able to record having this thing. I don't DM anybody underage. I don't like to have anything involved with that. So it's I will not be directly talking to it. If you get a person on the stream that I don't have immediate communication with the parents, I'm probably not going to have their information. I just don't want to have anything shady in the background. I actively, during my day, for those who don't know, work against what I'm trying to prevent here. So if you see me playing with some, oh, those cards aren't right for certain people, I'm not going to be DMing them. I'm not going to be in the chat with those. It's out of respect for their parents, respect for those people out there. And I hope you guys carry the same sentiment, looking out for those kids. They need your protection. They need your help. Let's get into the deck list. All right, starting off with Nami, the card that was released in the Learn to Play event, had a really cool alternate art leader for this, and a card that is really just it kind of fundamentally creating the best of the blue-yellow good stuff. Blue-yellow has always been a deck of choice. Queen back in the day, coming up to the blue-yellow Nami, and all other leaders that were like this. It's always just been the best of blue and the best of yellow mixed together. No type matching, no theme with the straw hats or theme with something. It's just it just was all over the place. And what made it difficult was searchers were hard. You couldn't really find things. And now with the power creep, the way that it's been building, we're getting more and more search events that are just generic good search events. They tried with that EBO2 search, that 2-cost event. They could find anything. They tried it, realizing that 2 cost was probably a bit much for a searcher. Most people probably weren't going to do it. So they kind of stayed away from using 2 of those too many 2 costs. Now you've got things like GARP. You've got things like this new event, Will You Be My Servant, that I'll be going over here in just a minute. But there's a lot of other cards that you're going to be seeing from a lot of these different decks that you can use to find the cards that are very generic. They're just cost related. And that's awesome. We need to see more of that. That allows for more really cool, ingenuitive deck lists. It allows people to play outside the theme, which I think is amazing. I love a meta that likes to reward its players and reward its the deck builders and theory crafters and those people out there. But the Thriller Slop Nami, yes, not my name, Thriller Slop Nami is in action. We've got a good theme to it, but also some other good cards that you're going to see from the EBO set. And let's see what we have to work with here. First, starting off with Kamansi, the beautiful teddy bear, the zombie teddy bear. A nice little 2K counter, and on trigger, play up to 1 Thriller Bark type character card with a cost 4 less from your trash. You're going to see this a lot. Get used to that on these triggers, but really activating this like non-stop trigger happy graveyard revival. Obviously going to get off of the Kazoki Hiyori to it's yellow. You want to stack your life the way you want it to make sure you get those triggers when you want to see them. The new girl promo right here. On play, draw one card, trash one card from your hand. Activate main once per turn. Give it to one rested Dawn to one of your Nami cards. So really activating that leader ability. By the way, we didn't really go over that, did we? What's this card? 5,000 power, 4 life leader. Your turn once per turn. This effect can be activated when a card is removed from your or your opponent's life cards, and you have 7 or less cards in your hand. Draw a card. So anytime you take damage, or your opponent takes damage, you get to draw a card. Really good. Dawn times 1, though. This is that one that's being enabled by the girl card here. On your opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader gains plus 2,000 power during this turn. So, I want you guys to pay attention to that. Something that gets seldom used for some reason. You can, if there's a Dawn attached, discard a card, trash 1 card from your hand. Your leader gets 7k till the end of turn. This is the most broken power leveling thing I've seen in the longest time. But you got to make sure you have the Dawn underneath, obviously. And most people who play on the curve are really bad at making sure that Dawn was underneath it. But this is for the turn. Don't forget that. Read the card. Read the card explains the card. Kikanojo, which is always great when there's 3 life leader formats out there. A lot of people playing 4 and 3 life, so it's really easy to get this trigger. Basically, Kikanojo can be free played from life so long as your opponent has 3 or less life. You got the Baby 5. Ooh, absolute respect. And also came out in that new binder that we just got from the Bandai Card Fest here for the new alt art. But a lot of respect here. 2k counter. If your leader's multicolored, draw 2 cards for a trigger. But nice little 5k power, 2k answer, and Baby 5, my bae, right there. Dr. Hogback on KO. Play up to 1 character card with a cost 4 or less and a trigger other than Dr. Hogback from your trash. So more recycling. And of course, the trigger. If you get a trigger, you get to get a 4 or less life for back. So this is that, what Not My Name was saying, the thriller slop. A lot of recursion from the trigger in the yards here. You have the Perona on play and on KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. Cannot attack until the end of your opponent's end phase, which is really nice. Cannot attack means it can defend. It doesn't shut off blockers, but it definitely stops against some massive swings from your opponent, and which can be very good in a certain offensive type decks. Marco, obviously, I told you guys is the best blue blocker in the game. Of course, I see him play. Pudding, told you it was a staple. The card's just good. You just play it. You play it. You're in blue. You play Charlotte Pudding. Respect it. Now on to the new cards. Nami. Give up to 1 rested Dawn to one of your leaders. Then, if your opponent has 3 or more life cards, add up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life cards to its owner's hand. Yes, an on play, take a life. An on play, take a life. Do you realize how much take a life yellow has? It's insane. Also, on KO, you may turn one of your cards in the top of your life cards face up. Play 1 character that costs 6,000 power or less from your hand. Okay. So you could play this one too? It doesn't say not other than Nami. You could play this and hit him twice. So be careful. That's a little gross to see this back to back, but it is 100% possible. You got to be careful running into this. A lot of anti don't swing at my cards type cards here. I'm a little surprised Akuma's not in this deck, but we'll see what he made room for. I imagine it was for the Nico Robin. Nico Robin on play, you may trash 1 card from your top of your life cards. If your leader has the Straw Hat type crew type, add up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So you take 1 damage, trigger off that Nami ability to draw a card. Then you get 2 cards off the top, so a heal +1 essentially, and activating the leader ability. On opponent's turn, on KO. On opponent's turn, on KO. You may deal 1 damage to your opponent. This will cost you the game. You need to know about this. The word is not out. I'm seeing Twitter feeds. I'm seeing people make this mistake. This will cost you the game. If Nico Robin's out there and you have 0 life, do not hit this card. Do not swing at it. Do not try to kill it. Your opponent will be like, okay, because you lose. This is one of the first cards they've introduced that deal damage. Not take a life, not trash a life. Deal damage. And you can very much lose the game. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're out there playing this game and you see that card, you see Nico Robin, and you're at 0 life, don't hit it. Even if you're not, don't hit it. The whole thing's protection proof. You just got to deal with it. Lock it down. Just shut it down. Make sure it can't attack or rest, or add something to your deck to make sure that this thing can't be a menace. But do not KO this card. You can bottom deck it. That'd be a good answer. You can bounce it back to hand. It's an okay answer, but you give them a free life. But don't KO this card. Don't swing into it. Let's get back to the deck list. Now on to the new Gecko Moria. On play, select up to one Thriller Bark type character that costs 4 or less from your trash and play it, or add one of the top of your life cards face up. What? And play it, or add it to the sorry, you can add it to the top of your life cards face up. So potential heal here, or just some extra card revival here. So a lot of graveyard recovery, a lot of like cycling and graveyard recovery. Love this. So, Will You Be My Servant is the card I was talking about earlier. A nice little generic searcher. Look at the top 4 cards, and anything costs 2 to 8, you can add to your hand here. So, this really being the necessary card to really put Nami over the top, which a lot of people are saying Nami is going to be the new deck to beat. On top of having all these amazing triggers, it's also got the ability to start getting more consistent with a good searcher. If I bow down to power, what is the point in living? On main, you may rest one of your Dawn cards. If you have 1 or less life cards, your opponent cannot activate blocker whenever your leader attacks his turn. So, a nice little unblockable to Nami if necessary, and can counter for 3k. Love this card. Really great one of. And of course, 3 of the Gum Gum Red Rock, which is by far one of the best removals in the game. You can bottom deck any character. 6 costs there. Any answer you can't deal with. Maybe you need to get rid of Robin. Here's your answer right here. And Big Sexy's going to be going up against Grant, who's playing Yellow Luffy. The one on the surface that also, like Trafalgar Law, said, is this any good? It's a 5,000 power, 6 life leader. If you have 2 or less life cards, draw a card and trash a card. So if I get down to late game, I can cycle a card. Yippee! Yippee! I guess. It seemed on the surface it was going to be terrible. But then you got to remember, it's in yellow! Yellow is by far one of the trickiest color decks that you could possibly imagine to have to play against. This deck's insane. It's got triggers for days. Every life hit could potentially swing it back in their favor. And as we already talked about from the yellow cards being used by Nami, there's a lot of take damage type cards here. Now imagine Grant probably doesn't, maybe he does. We'll find out when you see the match, because I told you I don't have his actual deck list. But has answers like Nico Robin that takes a life. This one adds to hand. You've got the Kuma that heals. Really strong here, but you also have the Eustace Captain Kidd that takes a life here. On play, you may rest this character and trash up to 1 card from your hand, and trash up to the top of your opponent's life cards. I'm sorry, trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. Yeah, just rest it and trash a life. Rest it, trash a life. That's it. End of turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand. All right. So, I mean, late game, you don't need to hit in this deck. You don't need to, honestly, do much of anything. You don't even need to swing half the time. Most of the time, you could just start taking the life, including this Joey Bonnie here that has, if your leader has Egghead type, this character gains Rush, then your opponent adds 1 card from the top of the life cards to their hand. You've got damage dealer, damage dealer, damage dealer. Now you got the Nico Robin that could be doing some damage. You've got other things like Basil Hawkins that you can include that could do some damage if you wanted to use that. But yellow really doesn't need to even swing in half the time. Most of the time, it's doing all the damage by healing itself or just dealing the damage with the characters by themselves. And as 6 life leader, when you get all these triggers, yeah, it's a little strong. You got Kikinojo that comes out for free so long as your opponent has 3 or less life. You got the Rocket Nami that pops, was it 5 cost or less? Character with 5 or less, yep. So you can play this thing and pop a 5 cost left. You got Jinbei for 2k counter, but it can also be played from life. You've got the Sanji. On play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal it to 1 Straw Hat type character and add it to your hand. Then place the remaining at the bottom of the deck, or you can trash a card from your hand and play this card. So you've got another one of the cards that trigger come from life, and you get a search. You got the Nico Robin that's a blocker that you can search, that you can play from life. You've got the Usopp, which is absolutely insane. Up to one of your Egghead type leader characters gains 2,000 power until the end of your next turn. Till the end of your next turn. Your next turn. Guys, this power up is insane. You realize that you can give the 7... If you get 2 of these, you have a permanent 9k on your turn. And it's a 2k counter. You got the search events, of course. You got the you'll frighten me, which is a counter. If you have 2 or less life cards, up to one of your opponent's active characters can attack during this turn. So it's a great way to shut off an attack if you're worried about getting KO'd. Blaze Slice, great counter here and main. Up to one of your leaders or character cards gain plus 1,000 power during this turn. Then your opponent has 2 or less life cards. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters that cost 4 or less. It's always been in and out of different yellow cards, but of course, the trigger rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 4 or less is always relevant. Get a rest that blocker so you can go in for the alpha swing. And quite possibly, a card that absolutely spiked in price here from Start Deck 13. You have the counter to give up to one of your leaders, gains plus 4,000 power, but most importantly, look at all your life cards and place them back in your life area in any order. Guys, this is devastating. Nominating says, can't wait for April 1st. No more Red Rock. Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that. It does rotate out here. So we'll see if they're going to introduce that back. But yeah, Red Rock will be going away come April 1st. We are merging with the Asian meta here. And you guys got to be prepared for that. We're going to have, we're going to be in tandem with them. So we're going to be able to build decks just as fast as they do. And we'll actually have a market in where we can actually start creating the meta on our own. And I can't wait to see if they differ. Because personally, I've thought for the longest time, we've leaned a little too heavy on the East. I think we spent too much time saying, okay, they already got figured out, so let's just do what they do. And while I get it with the way life works, you don't have much time, things are crazy. Yes, it's convenient. It kind of takes away ingenuity. And I think that there's always something out there that hasn't been tried yet. There's not enough games you could possibly play. There's not enough events you could possibly record. That you could possibly have every single mathematical put together deck, you know, possible. And now we get to be the originators of the combo and see how it mirrors up. I'm really interested in how that relationship's going to work. All right, Big Sexy out with 4, Grant out with 6. Do we start off with a search? Nope, Big Sexy passing back to Grant. Grant with 2 Dawn. See if he has a searcher in this first turn. Or does he pass back? We'll see. Oh, drawn for turn here. Remember, Grant is a brand new player to the game, so we're going to be seeing, you know, a little bit of a hesitation and him trying to understand it. Big Sexy doing an amazing job, by the way. I got to sit there in the studio for this match. He did a wonderful job of coaching the kid, helping him work through the phases, and just being a very friendly dude and helping Grant get welcomed into this amazing community. So thank you very much, Big Sexy. I really appreciate that. Here comes 3 Dawn underneath, and we're going to come in 8. Risking the trigger. Let's see what we get. We'll see if Grant tries to counter out or if he tries to take a life. Grant not immediately going for the deck, so he might be trying to protect himself. Hopefully, if he's out there and he ever watches this, nope, takes a life. Do we have a trigger? Do we have a trigger? Always check for trigger. This is what our deck does. Let's see if we got one. We do. It's... All right. Discard a card for Sanji. So Sanji out in the play gets to look at the top 4, add a straw hat to hand, and immediately, just like that, Grant has an attacker. Big Sexy, remembering he did take a life, so gets a draw card. And doesn't have 7, so he's going to draw a card for leader ability. Grant's going to get passed back to his turn, or right now he's probably going to do the search, sir. Still, I hadn't looked at the top 4 for Straw Hat. Let's see what he finds. As Grant's out there, I'm kind of curious. What do you guys think about this matchup? Yellow on yellow. Do you think yellow's becoming too powerful of a color? You think it's getting a little too strong? I gotta say, I've been talking to a lot of the great heads of the game, and they say you can live by the trigger, you can die by the trigger. Just because you have a lot of triggers doesn't mean you're always going to see it. And if you rely on it too much, you're probably not going to do well in a tournament. What do you guys think? Or do you think that the triggers are just too good? You're just too powerful, makes this game kind of weird. As I know, playing against it's nerve-wracking. It's a person who doesn't usually play yellow. I can't remember the last time I played yellow. I'm always a red player, obviously, so I think the only leader I can think of is red, yellow, Sabo, and I kind of let that one to Rex. Oh, Bellabetti. I did play from Bellabetti. That did not play like a yellow deck, though. Let's be fair. That was more of a glass cannon type deck. 5 Dawn turn for Big Sexy. Let's see what he wants to navigate this turn. Could come out with a blocker. Could come out with a Nami. Start off the damage taken right away. Nami Name says, yellow is 1 card away from being able to win without swinging. Nami Name, you're 100% right. I think, honestly, if the cards line up well and you get back-to-back use as kids, you don't need to swing at all. Like, your opponent can have all the defense in the world. And if you get a card that says, oh, come my way, you basically never had to swing. They could just kill your Robin. And Purple Crocodile has already been showcasing, Purple Yellow Crocodile has already been showcasing how you can win the game without actually swinging at your opponent at all. It almost feels like you're playing Blue Nami all over again. All right, 6 attack into 5. We'll see what Grant does. Yeah, just one effect that, oh, come my way to redirect into Nami, and you can win a game without ever having to attach your opponent. And it's always recommended, but you can literally win a game without ever having to attach your opponent. It's absolutely disgusting. All right, Grant's turn. Going to get 2 more Dawn. See if we get some attacks from him. I'm a little surprised we didn't see an attack from Sanji last turn. Maybe he doesn't know that it doesn't have it doesn't have that block on its haste here. Nico Robin the play here. Here comes 5 to life. Those at home, I do recommend not playing cards into your opponent's triggers, especially yellow. But for sequencing out there, I think he tapped too much too, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think he tapped 6 for a 4. Maybe I'm mistaken. All right, hog back the defense. Here comes 5. Looking for 1 is Big Sexy. And Grant, if you're out there listening to this commentary, just know I'm here to help, not here to criticize. Help you get better at the game. We all started off this way. Oh, here we got a trigger from Baby 5. We can draw 2 or not. He decides not to. There was an option to draw 2 there. But Big Sexy should be drawing a card regardless for the Nami ability. Didn't see that. Okay. All right. One of the things, again, a lot of people seem to forget with this Nami, don't forget to draw your card. If you take a life, or maybe he had too many cards in hand. I didn't see how many cards he had in his hand. But want to be mindful. Especially if you have your hands too big, you can't draw from the leader ability. What's this? 1, 2. Let's see. How many cards he has here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can't tell if there's a hidden card underneath that on the stack here. Because he's looking at the 7 cost. Yeah, there is. Okay, so he did have more than 7. Couldn't activate leader ability. Could have activated the Baby 5, though. So I'm a little surprised he didn't do that. Does Baby 5 have a hand size requirement? You're just looking at it. Your leader's multicolor, draw 2 cards. Yeah, you could have just drew 2. All right, we got Big Sexy with the Raging Tiger. Gonna knock that thing out. Bottom decking both of Grant's characters. And now has Open Rain after having played that new Nami. Altart even. Good grief, Big Sexy, you were getting looked after. I just realized that was alted. Here comes 5 to life. Gets the 2K. Comes 5. Or 6K, sorry. It was 6K to life from the attack from the Nami. Gets another 2K. Grant just full of these 2Ks. All right, 2 more Dawn here for Grant. Draws for turn. I feel like he should be at 8 Dawn. We'll see how this one goes. Grant gonna count how many Dawn he has left here. See how many times he should be at 8. That's an interesting way to see how many Dawn you have, is by counting how many you haven't put out yet. So you can advance the board. Imagine this would be a really good opportunity to play down the 6-cost Nico if he has it. Maybe even get out a... If he is at 8 Dawn, which I think he is, he could Kuma heal. Which would be a great answer to this deck right now. Can you imagine a deck made of just nothing but life takers and life gainers? It'd just be the longest yellow versus yellow match. You're going to take a life? Yeah, I'm going to play this card that heals me a life. And then you're going to take a life. I'm going to play this card that heals a life. You're going to take a life. And Nell thought... You guys thought a Nell was the worst meta. Imagine playing on this one. All right, Grant. Brand new to the game. Still thinking through his turn. Trying to make sure he makes the right play. And also, a really good thing for Grant here. He's getting the opportunity to be on camera to get that kind of that nerve-wracking stuff out of the way. Especially being up against a really friendly opponent here. All right. Here comes the 7-cost Kuma. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I'm pretty sure he went second, so he should be getting 2 down a turn. Did get a free heal off the Kuma. I was pretty sure Grant was on the evens because Big Sexy started off with 1 Dawn and passed. So here's a 5K swing. What's up, Captain Little? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. We got Grant, a new time player, playing yellow Luffy versus the new blue yellow Nami with all the new Nico Robins and Namis and all the great stuff from that Hero 1 edition that just making this deck a little OP. Talking about how yellow doesn't even need to attack. Something I know you're quite familiar with, given that you get to play with Nico Robin. And if you could play with Oh Come My Way, I'm pretty sure you would lose your mind with the absolute... Blue Yellow Nami is disgusting with EBL3. It really is. We got a lot of power-up cards, a lot of new taking life. Not My Name is in the YouTube chat, talking about how we are literally just 1 card away from, like, Oh Come My Way, that's played in Crocodile, from having, like, all yellow decks be like, I never need to attack you. I'll just take your life. All right, Big Sexy with a counter out from the swing from Grant here. Imagine that's going to be it for Grant's turn. All right, no, I am taking crazy pills. I guess Grant went first. It's Big Sexy on the full 10 here. See, big fat hands for both these players. Not really dedicating much to the board here. Capital says, I like Robin the most because I like attacking and getting to trash life when I do. Yeah, right? Robin definitely has, like, some interesting scenarios with it. And Robin, oh man, it's just so gross. I had to do a PSA here before you came in the chat. Remind people that damage does lose you the game. So don't attack into it. I'm already seeing it in social media. People are already showing me posts of people attacking into their Nico Robin and has 0 life. And I'm like, why are you doing that? I mean, it's a good way to be like, I kill myself. You can't kill me. I've done that a lot in games. I'll tell you that. I've done a lot of times in games. I've been like, you can't beat me. I beat myself. Especially in Magic the Gathering. I'll look for ways to bolt myself. The amount of times in Magic the Gathering, I've bolted myself to end the game. It's like, I bolt myself. You don't get to win. All right, 4 for Perona. Remember the on KO allows it to get something back from hand. Looks like we might be going for another Take Life Nami. Or Blocker Marco. We're going to see. Cameron says some of those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards are nasty. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to playing this weekend. I'll talk about it at break a little bit more in length, so the YouTube content isn't filled up with Magic the Gathering content. But looking forward to it. I just have a few thoughts about the TMNT stuff, and I'll talk about that after this game's over. If you guys want to stay tuned to it, because I want the made-for-YouTube content to be about the game. Pretty sure I'm going to get comments in the YouTube like, why are you talking about Magic? I'm here for One Piece. If you guys watch the Nationals game thread, the live chat was freaking out anytime it wasn't One Piece. Why is this Gundam? I want to watch One Piece. Why are you watching Uni Arena? I want to watch One Piece. Oh my god, is this Digimon? I want to watch One Piece. And is another reason why Bandai should desperately divide the IPs so we don't have to deal with the whiny babies about their favorite IP being watched. And while I was talking about that, Nami, Damage Taker, was played by Big Sexy here. So, Grant still without another trigger. Another one of those live and die by the triggers. And sadly, Nami not adding anything to Grant's board here. Sexy, looking at all of his options here, has an open search capability or a counter. Looks like he's going to go for the search. Yep. Will you be my servant is the play. Or not. Maybe he's going to leave it open for counter. He's down to 5 cards in hand, so at least now when his opponent takes life, he should be drawing. Do we know if he drew for the Nami? I'm too afraid to go back. I'm too afraid to go back, guys. I think Big Sexy's missed at least 2 or 3 draws from his leader ability. One of them that I called him out on was actually legitimate. He didn't have 7 life, or 7. He had 7 cards in hand, but yeah. James Strong, good to see you. Thank you for the chat on YouTube, man. Good to see you. Oh, what are you doing? I can't say the T word? Captain, this is literally a yellow match. All right, your 5 minutes start now. Thanks a lot, Captain. That's great. Good commentary. Stop me from saying the T word in a yellow match. That makes for great commentary. All right, here comes 6. Jeez. You know, I really got to stop this ban thing. I need to do something better with these points. Let you guys use them on something more productive. I told you, no T's here. Okay. Those on YouTube land, I have a little point system on Twitch. People are allowed to ban certain words I'm allowed to use. And of course, I can't use the T word in a yellow match. I think you guys can put 2 and 2 together. But I got a 5-minute hold on being able to use the T word, which is essentially half of what's remainder of this game. All right, there's a draw from the take here. Big Sexy not forgetting this time. Here comes 6. See if Grant gives the 2K. Yep, there's another Nico Ram 2K blocker. And a pass back. Grant at 9. Or it should be at 10. 9. Yep. I don't think Grant's been putting out his Dawn correctly. Because if Big Sexy's at 10, then Grant should be at 10. I'm pretty sure Grant missed a whole turn of putting out 2 Dawn. Either that or he's playing with 12 Dawn. And we're going to have to count those Dawn. Yeah, I'm pretty sure on turn 2 we forgot to. All right, here comes 4 for a Sanji. Again, look at the top 4. Looking for a Straw Hat Pirate Crew. See what gets out at the top from here. Grant probably showed his opponent, but we haven't seen it. Here comes 6. Oh, no, they're 4. Okay. No, sorry, yeah, because he's behind. Grant should be at 10 Dawn here, but we're going to get another search for Sanji. Going to get 2 attacks in, at least here. No blockers on Big Sexy's side here. Looking a little light on defense here, but does have the open 1. Decided not to play the search event in lieu of a counter. Here comes a 5. Asking for 1. He's got at least 2 2Ks in hand here. See if he gives up one of those. I wouldn't recommend using the event knowing a 7K is coming your way next turn, next swing. Is it 7? Yeah, it's 7. 7K. All right, looks like he gave up the baby 5. All right, gets a trigger from life. Oh, no, guess he didn't give anything up. Nope. Decided to take the hit, gets a Kiko out of life. Now Big Sexy with his army of maidens here. Nami, Perona, Kikinojo. The harem has begun. I know that Not My Name was talking about how this is the Thriller Bark Slop, or the Thriller Slop mix-up, but this is more the Heroine edition here. All right, 7K coming in. He does have the counter for 3. We'll see if he uses it. This would be the prime opportunity to do it, if he can do it at all. He's got the 1-cost counter right there. He got the Dawn open for this reason. This is when you use it. Where am I at for the T word? All right, 2 more minutes, Captain Literal. 2 more minutes, I can use the T word again. All right, gives up 2 2Ks. Okay. I don't know if Big Sexy's just being nice to him. I mean, you had the 3K counter in hand. I'm watching the clock here, Captain. I'm watching the clock. All right, Big Sexy. Do we bottom deck that Kuma? Go in for some massive white swings. Let's see what we got for Grant here. Do need to get through 2 more life. Obviously, be aware of the T's in the life here. Grant with what looks like 5 cards in hand. So running a little low on counter here. Naburu, good to see you. Thanks for the chat. Put exclamation point join into the chat if you want your chance to win one of these 2 free packs in my stream. We have 2 more games after this, and then I'll be giving away 2 of our community pack boxes. One of them, the Alt Art Virgo, has been pulled, which means we have a potential of 2 more hits left in the box. It could be yours, could be a manga, could be an Alt Art Leader, could be so many things, could be an SP. Could be a massive hit tonight we could be giving away. All yours for a simple exclamation point join in the chat. At the end of the stream, every time I go live, I always give away product in the IP that I happen to be covering. Today is One Piece. But thanks so much for the comment, Naburu. All right, 4 tapped. And a cheer. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Ooh, appropriate for the ooh. I got to get the sound effects on there for that one. Especially if we're going to have all these heroine editions, the ooh is going to be ever more important. Thank you for the follow, too. Appreciate you. Yes, the ooh is definitely going to be important coming this heroine edition as we get more and more. Especially this Saturday, if you guys join us over at LifeLink Games, we're going to have our heroine event. Next Monday, I'll be doing the coverage. I'll be trying out Nefeltari Vivi and hoping to win that event. We'll see. Gonna be a lot of great players. Looking forward to playing them. But yeah, I need the ooh button. I know Porter, one of my other casters that was supposed to be here today, he would love that button. Who do you think does the best ooh voice out there? Which one should I try to take the voice clip for? There's a lot of good, lot of good VTubers, a lot of good streamers out there that do the ooh voice pretty well. It's not like I can pull it off. Ooh ooh. I just made about 1,000 people cringe right now, and I'm only airing to about 20 people. I mean, 1,000 people cringe, airing to 20 people. All right, Big Rock, the answer to that. Kuma, seeing that. Bye-bye at the bottom of the deck. Here comes our first six. Our first 6K swing. We'll see if we got 2K from Grant. Kind of hard to keep your brain straight when you're looking at a harem board with a guy named Big Sexy is on the other table. 5 and a 5, looking for 1. Grant with a take. Big Sexy gonna take the draw? Nope, no Dawn underneath the leader. All those things I told you guys, got to remember to keep that Dawn underneath the leader, get that ability available. Here comes another 6. Showcasing his non-counter Jewelry Bonnie. Okay. So here comes 6 in the life here. And that must have been his trigger. Using... Does Jewelry Bonnie have counter? I don't think the card has counter. Oh, he's using the trigger. Yes, I could say it. I could say it. Yes, I'm well within my limit to be able to say that. I can say the trigger button. He's using the trigger. Okay. And another 6K. Grant on the take. Here comes 5 to life. Grant has to have something to counter here. No, no counter for Grant. That's just a bunch of... Oh, bricked up. Oh, no. No. Grant with no counter in hand. Oh, you don't want to see it. But the good news is, those at home don't know, Big Sexy was generous enough to give the pack to Grant. So we'll see if he gets anything good. This is one of the very first packs we're giving away from the new community box for our bounty packs. So a whole new fresh box for those people who are playing LifeLink Games. Let's see what he gets. Okay, getting closer. Cavendish. Leader pack doesn't mean nothing anymore. But it's still a 2 double rare pack. All right, Mr. 3. Nice. Always nice to get it. Big Sexy. Thank you so much for being so generous to Grant there and being a good steward. Really showcasing some great sportsmanship, allowing this kid to learn how to play the game. It looked like you were very patient with him, teaching him things. And it's the same treatment I gave Big Sexy in his first time playing. When I got to meet him, like I said before, where we were playing the release event here, and I spent the entire hour. I had no idea it had been that long. It was such a good time. But I spent an hour with Big Sexy teaching him how to play the game. And we have that video out here on this channel. Still out there, and I don't think I made it into a YouTube video, but it was a really good time. I sat back, I taught him how the cards worked, and out of that respect, and I gave him a pack during that time, he returned the favor and keeps the cycle of goodness going around by giving Grant the pack, which is just phenomenal. I love to see it. This is how you cultivate a good group. You give, you watch them give back, and you just start helping people around, and this is just why we have such a lucky ability to have such a great community here at LifeLink Games playing all the TCGs that we play. And that's going to do it for this round. If you've been here this long, hit the like and subscribe button. Help us out. We're a growing channel and just trying to get out as many TCGs and coverage for you guys at home. Brought to you mostly by the people you're seeing scroll over here, my Patreons. The ones that help me fund and do everything I can to try to expand this channel to cover multitudes of different TCGs that you are seeing here. You like the one you're watching now? That's great. We also have other things that you might like. From a broad spectrum of the Bondi to the new League of Legends, Riftbound games, and other independents like Alpha Clash. We like to cover as many games here, and I love all these TCGs. Most of the time I take part in. If you guys are liking this content, though, please help us grow, help us get into the point where we can improve our quality of content for you, and get to the point where you guys really get the product that you deserve. Thank you for being here, as always. This is going to be it for today. I hope to see you in the next video. that might be listed up here. I don't know. Editor, can you help me out?